Hello, I am your host Angelina, and you are listening to V.I.P podcast, where we talk about very important people, ponies, and pooches. Okay guys, so today I am bringing to you a Valentine's special episode. I will be discussing things that we can get up to with our favourite fur children this Valentine's Day, as well as talking to you about some heroic horses and hounds, because who doesn't want a hero on Valentine's? Especially a cute and fairy one. I do apologise in advance. I did record this yesterday actually, but unfortunately it didn't save properly, so I am going to have to record it again now, which is fine. But the only issue is there is some background noise. I'm sorry if you can hear it. It's just the men of the family doing some work with tractors and stones and all of that, so I do apologise in advance. But let's start this off by discussing what ideas I have come up with for what we can get up to with our fabulous pets during this lockdown Valentine's. I am lucky enough to be living with my boyfriend, so I do get time to spend with him. However, I understand not everyone can see their partners for Valentine's due to lockdown, and not everyone has a partner, which is absolutely fine obviously, but it just means they get to spend more time with their horses and doggies, etc. So there you go. So let's start off by an obvious one, which is obvious, yes, but it's obviously a very important one as well. Why not take your dogs for a lovely stroll? If people with the restrictions are able to in their area or whatever, and especially I understand a favourite walking space might not be within the area you are allowed to travel to, because this one would be lovely if you took your dog to his or her favourite walking place, you know, to have a lovely walk and then a sit down and you can experience the scenery together. But obviously that would have to be within your area. If not, then take the dog on the favourite walk within the area. But yeah, just enjoy the views and sit down and have a few moments and spend them together, because you know it may not be. Valentine's is about love, right? It doesn't have to be romantic. I don't think. You can still enjoy love between, that other bond you share with your pets. Why not? So yeah, just take your dog on a nice stroll and enjoy the day. Okay, so what about riding your horses? Like perhaps even take your horse on his or her favourite hack. Enjoy the scenery again and the time you're getting to spend with one another. Like that's the most important thing about this day. You get to spend time together and make sure you and the horse or the dog or both, depending on what you own. But yeah, just spend the time together, enjoy scenery and nice things like that. Have a picnic. Now, I don't know if you are actually allowed, within the restrictions again, to actually go out and have a picnic. Like, I know you're allowed to walk your dog, but I don't know if you're allowed to make a meal of it and literally and have a picnic. But if not, say with the horse, once you get back, like either to the stable yard or home, either go and sit in the garden with your dog or just sit on your tack box at the yard and just enjoy a bit of food together, really. Just nice little, with your dog and your horse, depending on what you want to do. You could enjoy every meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. But yeah, I'd definitely have a sit-down meal, because why not? So this one, when I was researching some ideas actually, because I thought, see, I've got these ideas, but I swear I'm missing something, and I found it. Create gorgeous photos. So get some Valentine's themed items and have a photo shoot of your adorable fur babies, because dogs, my dogs have their personal Instagram accounts, everything would be great, because and also send those photos in when you do take the photos, because I want to see those adorable little Valentine's cutesy photos of your horses and your dogs, and it's just amazing. I really want to see them. It's so cute. Also, snuggle up on the bed or sofa and just watch cringy movies with your dog. Actually, there is a story about it. So you could do this with your horse if you so I knew someone that actually used to let a horse into their kitchen for breakfast. So if you have if you have, or able to do that. If you have a TV in your kitchen, then go for it, you know. Also, who said romance is dead? Me and my dog watch movies all the time about it. So yeah, spoil yourself. You know, you're important too. Spoil yourself with chocolates and all that trash food for a day. Become a chocoholic. There's no wrong in that. And spoil your horses and dogs with their favourite treats. I know I will. Like, my horses, in fact, adore these treats I found called stud muffins, which is weird because when they first tried them, they kind of spat them out. But now, if I pull out the packet, they seem to, like, extend their necks as far as possible, just trying to stick their muzzles in the pack and just eat all of them if they could. Winter, my bitch, she will eat practically anything, like... but my boy Ice, he's a little bit more fussy, so it will mean that all three of our dogs, mine and my boyfriend's, including Ralph, will get the best top-end treats that Ice likes, because obviously if one's fussy and the others two aren't, then they'll eat it. So only the best for them, of course. Oh, another thing I just thought of, actually, it wasn't even on the list I had in mind, but buy yourself a gift. Why not? Like, yeah, buy yourself a gift, buy your dogs a gift. I'm pretty sure you could get like a dog Valentine's toy pack, gift pack or something. And same for the horses, just buy them like heart-shaped treats or even bake them. You can bake dog and horse treats, so yeah, go for it. Baking's fun, Valentine's kind of theme, I guess, especially if you do it in heart shapes or roses or something. I don't know, but have fun with it, you know, just have fun. It's your day. It's not just for couples, in my opinion. Make it your day, okay? But what we are going to do with our little family is we're going to make a family tree. Okay, so this Valentine's, we're going to paint a silhouette of a tree onto our bedroom wall. And we've got little photo frames that we're going to put all the little pictures of our horses and dogs and little fur babies. And it's going to start off with me and my boyfriend in the middle. And then they're all going to be on the branches sprouting. It's a bit cringy, but I don't care. When I want to go up there, I can be with the horses and the dogs in the picture frame. And obviously the dogs in person. But unfortunately the horses don't get to come in the house. But yeah, definitely. I want to go into the room and see, like, that's my family, you know? I know it's my family, but then when I have friends over, I'm like, look, this is my family, look how cool it is, you know? And obviously it can grow, the tree can grow in the future, but yeah, so maybe that might be something you guys and gals are interested in, you know? Just making a family tree, even if you don't have, like, human children, you still have your fur babies, so yeah. If you are doing something special with your fur child this Valentine's, share it with us in the comments section. It may give us all some ideas for next year. Okay, so let's move on to our heroic hounds. So one heroic dog I found out about is Bolto. Bolto is known as the dog who saved many lives by bringing home a life-saving vaccine. The journey was treacherous, but he managed to get the vaccine to Nome. But here's the thing, yes, Bolto did get the serum to Nome, but it was actually Togo who completed most of the journey, and it was only Bolto who completed the end part. By the way, guys, just to squeeze in, I do believe there is a film about Bolto. Anyways, and although Togo did most of the work, Bolto was practically given all of the credit. If you tuned into V.I.P podcast previous episode on reviews, I also mentioned that there was a film made by Disney about Togo. So here is actually a quote I found. In the serum run, Togo was the real hero. The dog that often gets credit for eventually saving the town is Bolto, but he just happened to run the last 55-mile leg in the race. The sled dog who did the lion's share of the work was Togo. Okay, so in my opinion, Togo did deserve more credit than he got, but both dogs deserve credit as they were both part of it. Like, both dogs were being asked to do something by us humans, for us humans. So I'm going to bring up the quote again, because it gets me every time. From Togo's trailer. I always thought he lived for the sled, when all along what he lived for was me. Oh my god. I don't know why, it just gets me every time. Very emotional. I believe that there was actually a petition to get the statue of Bolto replaced by the statue of Togo. In my opinion, they could have had them both stood up there together, because, like I said, one couldn't have done it without the other, really. Yeah, so I think they both deserve a bit of credit. Maybe Togo deserves more. Definitely not less, but unfortunately that is how it worked out. So moving on, let's talk about the heroic dog Sgt Stubby. So this dog begins his story as a stray. He then becomes something rather special. Not that he wasn't already. Like, if you don't know what he looks like, then you need to give him a search on a search engine, because he has the most adorable little face. He looks like he's smiling. So yeah, I am going to use a quote here, because the amount that this dog has done is phenomenal, because not only was he a dog, but he was the official mascot of the 102nd Infantry Regiment. I'm very sorry if I pronounced that wrong. United States. And he was assigned to the 26th Yankee Division in World War I. He served for 18 months and participated in 17 battles on the Western Front. He saved his regiment from the surprise mustard gas attacks, found and comforted the wounded, and allegedly once caught a German soldier by the seat of his pants, holding him there until American soldiers found him. His actions were well documented in contemporary American newspapers. I could go on and on with all that I had found on Stubby. He was a true war hero. I think there is actually an animated film based off of this adorable little fella, which came out in 2018, called Sgt Stubby. Hachiko, I do hope I pronounced that right, is a dog that is heroic for a different reason. Hachiko is remembered for his incredible amount of loyalty to his owner. Hachiko was a Japanese Akita dog who, when his owner died, continued to wait for him to return home for 9 years. He was in fact even found dead on the street near the train station that he would go to wait for his owner's return. I have watched the film that was made based off of the true story, and it is highly emotional. I also mentioned it in our previous episode, Hachi, A Dog's Tale. Chips was another war hero, but from World War II. So Chips was donated to the Second World War effort and returned home and was awarded Britain's highest honour for animal bravery. He was an amazing dog. Apparently, according to the US soldiers, the German Shepherd Husky mix raced into an Italian machine gun nest in 1942, attacking an enemy soldier by the throat and pulling the gun from its mount. Unfortunately, there were many animals used within wars that humans have created in the past. And, in my opinion, they are all war heroes. There are so many more heroic dogs out there, but we also need to discuss heroic horses. So, one heroic horse I was reading up about was Bucephalus. Right, I do apologise for all of these names I may or may not be saying correctly, because I am awful with names, especially less well-known names, as in less used. But yeah, I give it a go. But yeah, sorry, you have to deal with that. So, have you ever heard of Alexander the Great? If so, have you ever heard of his famous horse? So Plutarch tells a story of how Alexander won his horse at something like the age of 12. So basically, here is a little history lesson for you. This horse could not be tamed by anyone. And when the seller was trying to sell him off to Alexandra's father for like 13 talents, which was an extravagant amount of time, and obviously for what was known to be a horse that one seemed not to be able to tame, his father wasn't really that interested in the offer. Alexandra, however, he made a different deal. He made a deal that was along the lines of, if he couldn't tame it, then he would pay for it. However, if he could, then he could keep it. Alexandra and Bucephalus were inseparable and fought alongside each other in battle. I love history and historic stories. It's just, I like it. I don't know why, but it's just interesting, isn't it? Okay. So another historic horse I found out is about Warrior. So I am sure most of you have heard of the book or the movie War Horse. Well, Warrior is actually known as the real War Horse, which kind of suggests to me that the films and books were based off of him. There was also a book published about him, Warrior, the amazing story of a real war horse. He was known as the horse the Germans could not kill. So, on a website, I found this quote that basically sums up what kind of horse Warrior was. So, he was foaled on the Isle of Wight in 1908. Warrior went to war on the Western Front with Winston Churchill's great friend General Jack Seeley in 1914. There, he survived all imaginable disasters, was active in many famous battles, including those at the Somme of Ypres. I'm very sorry again, can't pronounce things. And he came back 4 years later. 8 million other horses and mules did not. So, returning with Jack Seeley to his native Isles of Wight in 1918, he lived on until the grand old age of 33, even winning a point-to-point 4 years to the day that he had led the charge at Wood. I'm very sorry. But anyway, what an amazing horse, right? Okay, so let's move on to the horse named Sgt Reckless. So Reckless was a mare who was brought by members of the United States Marine Corps. Reckless showed immense courage as she carried ammunition into battle. She was a pack horse which showed so much courage and willingness she was allowed to roam freely within the camp. She used to carry ammunition and supplies, but also used to evacuate the wounded. Apparently, after she had learned the supply routes, she would then carry the supplies to troops all on her own. This horse is actually really inspirational, to be honest. Like, I'm scared to go anywhere on my own, let alone travel into battle and supply the front lines. Comanche. Now, this is a horse that, quote, who rode at the notorious Battle of the Little Big Horn, received 7 bullet wounds, had arrows sticking out of him, and lost a lot of blood, but survived. End quote. So there you go, listeners. Yet another horse who survived battle and with such wounds. So Traveller. Now Traveller doesn't exactly seem quite the same horse as some of the other horses we've already talked about. Traveller wasn't a very well-behaved horse, some might say. He was in fact highly strung, a bit unruly and difficult, but apparently this horse was bold and, and because of this how high-strung he was and all that, it was unlikely that most people wanted him, but he was bold and brave and ended up going into battle more than any other Civil War horse. So yeah, if you have a highly strung and bold horse, then not that you'd want to, but they might be great for battle. Who knows? Okay, so let's talk about a horse named Marengo. I'm very sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But have you ever heard of Napoleon I? So Marengo was in fact Napoleon's horse. The Arabian stallion Marengo carried the emperor in something like 4 battles, And I did research what battles they were, but there is no way I'm going to embarrass myself anymore by trying to pronounce their names, because it's bad enough as it is. Anyways, Marengo was frequently used in the 80-mile gallops from Valladolid to Burgos, which he often completed in 5 hours. So that's pretty good going, isn't it? Obviously, there are so many more of these heroic horses and hounds. If these basic summaries of them did interest you, then please do go and research them further. Perhaps you can pronounce the names of the battles and the horses and the people much better than I can. To be honest, it wouldn't take much. But yeah, give it a go. Also, let's not forget the heroes that are within the modern era. We have so many animals that help us humans daily, so let's show them some appreciation. Okay, so we've got things like police horses, police dogs. They help protect us and make the world a safer place. Search and rescue, guide dogs, detection dogs. And this is just a few jobs that dogs and horses help us with. Also, there are some regular pets that are just as heroic for some people. You know, they may even be the reason someone wakes up every day. And that is so good that dogs and horses manage to bring happiness into our lives and give us a reason to keep going. Like, you know, you get up and you're like, right, feed the dogs, give the dogs a wee, feed the horses, muck them out. You know, it just gives you something else to think about if you do have bad thoughts. And if not, it's still great, isn't it? Yeah, it's literally, I like having horses and dogs, not just because of, you know, taking my mind off of certain things if you're having a bad day or whatever, but they just bring so much joy into your life. But for the people that do have bad thoughts, I know they can be a really big support. They just give them a reason to get up in the morning and get going and, you know, live every day. Thank you for joining me today, listeners. I hope you have enjoyed this Valentine's special episode, and I will speak to you all again soon. Happy Valentine's Day!
Thank you.